It's the Groupcast podcast, a show about stuff like stupid jokes and Charlie folks and random ass topics with Case and Wes, and special guests like Fred and Danny, Kyle, Riley, LYNX there too. This is their theme song, it's pretty cool. Just don't ask Wes to sing the rest cause he'll forget the words, so sit right down and gather round, but not too close because they were so ugly that everyone died. Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to Groupcast. Now with more less
apparently.
Wes, I guess.
We're Westless.
We're Westless. So basically,
Is that what happens when you can't fall asleep at night? You're Westless.
If you have a speech impediment. I don't know where that came from. I'm in charge now, so I'm the host. As always, I'm your host, Big Wes.
Casey.
I've made that joke already. It's not funny anymore. Along with me is Amber.
Ham and pear gravy. Ham and pear gravy. That's what happens when you don't stick to traditions. Ham and pear gravy.
That's what happens when you don't stick to traditions. That's what you said.
Stick to traditions.
Dishes?
When you don't do the dishes.
That's what happens when you don't stick to judicials. Erica.
I don't. There's a finger over there.
And the cynical bitch, Lennon.
The cynical bitch.
Ready, Alvin?
Okay.
I can't hear you.
Ready, Alvin? Oh, you weren't talking to... Okay. Just checking.
Great.
This would be the perfect time for your dad's name to actually be Alvin, so we just go, what?
What did you say down there? That's what he sounds like, apparently.
Where your kids doing down there?
With your rock and roll music.
That's mine.
Why you recording in my basement? Get out of here!
Ben T. Steckler's status is London crawling in your underwear.
Great.
Not sure what it means.
My name is Mr. Wilson, and I'm here to stay. I'm gonna slap your ass in amazing ways. What you doing in my basement? Get out of here! Get out of here!
That was beautiful.
What the hell was this?
It's the Mr. Wilson rap.
Yeah.
Don't you know anything?
Come on, Erica. Get with the Higgy.
You're a Higgy.
The Higgy?
That's the title of this episode now.
He's a Higgy. Get with the Higgy.
What does that even mean?
I lost my words halfway through.
Yeah, I bet you did. You're turning into Amber.
Oh, God, no. The virus is spreading.
I know. Everybody's on their cells.
Get out of here. Oh, we already did that.
So the first thing that I want to talk about today is how I had just about the worst Sunday ever, in which well, first of all, on Saturday I had left my laptop at my house after we were done doing our last podcast.
Ooh, that always sucks.
Yes, because I live an hour away at college.
Yeah.
So that sucked, and then it decided to just dump buckets of snow.
Oh, yeah. All of what? Like, buckets included. I mean,
there was buckets everywhere.
There
All I
were
heard was
buckets on the roads.
Doof, doof.
Yeah.
And then I heard something.
Car was so dented.
But the thing was, it hadn't started snowing by the time I had actually left. I'd left about 8:30.
So you're like, oh, shit, I left my computer. Guess I'll just have to take an hour trip back and an hour trip after that.
This was Thursday morning.
This will be only a mild
Sunday.
inconvenience.
Yeah, I was like, I'll be back by 11. I should be fine.
Nope.
I left. I got right out of the parking lot. Flat tire.
Oh no.
Hey, I want to interrupt for a sec.
Yeah.
Do you have a pen?
No.
I don't.
All right. Well,
Well,
fuck it.
wait.
Cool.
There's probably one back there.
Let me dig in my endless pocket.
Just wandering.
Nope.
I thought you said, let me dig in my endless bucket.
I said
It's full of
endless
snow
pocket. Yeah. Yeah, flat tire, called AAA, got the spare on, but I was like, I'm not gonna go home with a spare tire on, but I have work to do today, so I had to go get it replaced at the National Tire and Brakes or whatever.
The tire
Obama was
repair
there.
store.
Was he?
Yeah.
At the Tire and Brakes?
No, you said national. I thought Obama. I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, what?
I was half paying attention. It's just the way you were explaining it. I just thought Obama.
I'm editing a video, and you're half paying attention.
That's like if somebody were to say, like, Oh, I was just thinking about wine. Oh, that made me think of the Roman Empire.
I don't know. America, you know me.
America.
Everybody knows Erica and America.
L'America?
L'America. You guys should date so we could do that.
Yeah, I'd love it. Whoa.
Whoa.
Yes, not the first one of the
Back the
embarrassing
Soul Train up.
podcast.
Coming in hot.
Yeah.
Do you say not the first woman?
No, not the first one to laugh hysterically in a podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
Erica,
were.
you're only the second woman.
No, like this
Just in
You
general.
said not the first. You
no, I
sure?
mean this podcast. I
Oh,
haven't done
this
it yet.
is specific
Yes.
podcast, not in
This
general.
is specific.
Yeah, not yet. It'll happen. We'll
I
get on
snort
some.
like a piggy sometimes. Motherfucker.
We'll get into some random topic that everybody thinks is funny, but nobody else would think is funny, according to West Williams, considering our Adams County demeanor.
Nice laugh.
I feel like he was still kind of insulting us last episode when
Less
he was
insulting?
No.
when he was like, where he was talking about how Adams County's people.
Yeah, that's a little weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't see that.
Yeah, it's random. Randomness is the funniest thing. Oh,
No,
well,
randomness is awful.
Yeah,
Randomness
exactly.
Is terrible.
oh, it's the that's like the new thing.
I'm pretty sure everywhere you go that is not your home area is just going to seem random. Wouldn't it?
Wait, say that again?
Like, I mean, you're used to how things go where you're from, and then you go to somewhere else that you didn't grow up in and you're not used to seeing all the time, and you're like, well, those people are random.
Well, no, Wes Williams
No, the
was
things
saying
he was saying, that had a completely different connotation.
he was
Oh.
like he. Now, I do agree with him that like Lancaster comics are very hipster
Oh my fucking god.
because
Yeah?
Lancaster is a hipster place.
Have you
Yeah.
ever been to the mic?
Have you ever seen
I guess
Brendan?
you
I
haven't
haven't.
because it's 21 plus, I guess.
Yeah, that'll change soon. Yeah,
That is just hipster fucking central.
Hipster.
If you can't make hipsters laugh, don't go to that mic because
A
you're
lot
just
of
gonna
hippos
bomb.
go there.
Yeah. What else did he say? Harrisburg's was like
More
self-deprecating.
upscale. Honestly, more upscale. Is what I figured.
Self-defecating?
Yes, Erica, self-deprecating. How can you hear people coming in your
From
house?
I don't know,
Because noises
50
aren't
diagonal feet.
because noises aren't words.
All right, great. Okay,
Shirt.
Sure.
Right there.
Yeah,
There it
shirt.
is.
If only
Shirt.
we had the ability to do that.
What did you just hear me? What did you hear me say?
What
Shirt.
did you just hear me?
What did I said? Shirt. What did you hear?
Shirt.
Oh, because I thought you said something else.
I was just confused as to why
I
you
have
said
a-
shirt.
This
I
is
have-
just a huge
I have-
mess.
This is just nobody.
Why did you say shirt?
Because that could be a shirt now. What you said.
What
I've
is-
already forgotten what it was, so I can't reiterate.
Well, you know what? It's
because
a good
I'm
thing.
so
Not all noises are words?
yeah,
You know
no,
what?
something like that.
I have a solution to that. We happen to be recording a podcast, so
Oh.
we can listen
That's
to that
good.
whatever you just said.
Ready, Alvin?
Okay.
Would it be funny if your dad's name was Alvin and then he heard us? And, okay.
No, my dad's the same way where he mishears people all the time. Like, we'll just be watching TV, and I heard Guy say something about his titties the other day, and I'm like, did he just say titties? And my dad's like, that's what it sounds like. But him and I can both hear just random noises. It's just words. We're
Oh,
constantly
randomness.
confused.
Randomness is the pinnacle of all comedic humor.
Oh God. Ready, Alvin?
But we'll both
This
be
is a very cyclical
Lampshade
podcast.
Molotov. Oh,
we'll
it's
both
so
be sitting there and
random.
we're like, did we just hear a door slam? But then we're like, what'd that guy just say?
Did you
Hippos
guys-
and lampshades.
I think there either is or was a show on I think Cartoon Network that was actually called So Random.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Ugh.
Yep, it was a bunch of like preteens and teenagers
No
doing,
way.
doing sketch comedy.
Whoa.
Oh, that had to have been awful.
Yeah, there was
Wait, so it was like all
I
that,
only
but
saw-
far worse.
I only saw it once.
Yeah, it was like it was basically the open mic, honestly.
I only saw it once, and it was like really late at night. So
It's the only time they.
I'm not even sure if it was real. But it was like
You know,
but,
like
like,
those
the-
fake shows.
the show hadn't started yet. It was like an intro sequence,
Okay.
and this kid was just walking around doing things, and he was explaining that the reason he was doing them was because he was mysterious.
Kill
They're
that
like,
man.
They're like, hey, why do you have pancakes on your head? And he's like pouring syrup on his head. He's like, because I'm mysterious. I'm like, go fuck
Go
yourself.
kill yourself.
Sounds like you just said he's mysterious, and I just pictured
Yes,
him being a
Erica.
cow and...
Not only do you have to correct me, you also have to correct me when you're wrong.
That's when it's best. I don't know.
Words sometimes. emphasis on the fucking sometimes.
Words are not always noises. However I say it.
But
So yesterday was Blackout Day.
was it?
Yes.
No, only if you gave
So
a
let me
fuck.
tell you what this entitled. It was started on Tumblr.
I'm already out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
That's why I had to add it first. It was a
Yeah,
day
Tumblr.
where black people could post as many selfies
Take
as
the
they
legs,
want because,
mix the
God
fuck
forbid,
out
they
of 'em.
post them any other day, right?
Wait, what?
It was a day for just black...
Was it because of the Selma thing?
No, it was just a thing in general. It was supposed to be
'Cause
Blackout Day.
I think yesterday was the 50th anniversary of the Selma thing.
There you go, then.
Maybe it is. I didn't hear that was the connection. I just figured they just made a random day. That could have been it.
Could be.
So, here was the thing. Black people posted pictures all day long. People were just constantly going, oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, my God, I love you. Oh, my God, I'm going to die because your pictures are so pretty, and sharing them and everything.
Oh, Tumblr.
But if just one person of any other quote-unquote race posted a selfie yesterday...
Race.
Quote.
Well, I don't agree with... Never mind.
Don't go there.
Yeah, that's why I didn't. Like, any other person who was not black posted a picture, they were considered racist if they posted a selfie yesterday.
Sounds like Tumblr.
Yeah, I know. And some people actually were ridiculous enough to say, well, if black people get Blackout Day, we're going to do Whiteout Day.
Then
So
it
then-
snowed 5 feet.
So then to make fun of it, people were taking pictures of themselves
On the
holding
same
whiteout
day?
bottles.
I mean, that's all right, I guess.
Nobody
As
gives
far
a
as
fuck.
comedy is concerned, that's okay.
You know how some schools will do like whiteouts where like I think Penn State does it a lot when they have like everybody wears white to the football games.
Yeah, our school did pink out for
Penn
cancer.
Manor wasn't allowed to do that anymore because there's actually an incident called the whiteout in which a white kid stabbed a black kid with a pencil and then everybody wore white because he got expelled.
Oh,
Yeah, that's Penn Manor.
Sounds like Penn Manor.
I hate to borrow a joke from Patton Oswalt. I hate. I love that joke.
about
That's
right.
as bad as that school where that kid wore the opposing, like their rival team shirt on their, their pride color school day, and they beat the fuck out of him and recorded it, and teachers stood around and watched and laughed as this kid had the shit beat out of him.
that's terrible. I can't say there was ever.
Sounds like something that would happen in Biglerville. Like if Mrs. Showers saw someone wearing a Bermudian
Eagles,
spring shirt,
yeah.
she would have thrown him out a fucking window.
Oh, was that the teacher who just like
The
hates
football teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what she sounded like.
She actually say stuff like that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was
That's
a catchphrase.
hilarious.
Like
honestly.
every Friday when there was a game, she would go, "Woohoo! Let's go, Catters!"
She was a heavy smoker.
But it was "Woohoo!" and then we'd all have to say it with her.
Oh,
We
it's
got
beautiful.
bonus points for learning the alma mater on that Friday. We would
I got
have
no
to
bonus points.
I didn't even attempt to do it.
No, don't do that.
She went as
It's
far
terrible.
as to say that, like, someone one day was just talking about their friend from Bermudian, and she's like, I can't stand people from Bermudian. They're terrible people. I'm like,
I know that because I
No.
did an animation on it.
oh, yes, I had talked about that
Yep.
before.
Eagles hate canners. That
Yeah.
That's like when I go into Bermudian, and then the kids ask, what school did you go to? And I just get this grin on my face. I'm like, guess where I went?
Guess where I'm from.
And they get,
Guess who cares? Nobody.
and they all are like, get the fuck out of here.
Really?
They're kidding.
Okay.
They
'Cause
say fuck though.
I
Yeah.
honestly don't believe that any actual Biglerville and or Bermudian students hate each other.
No.
No,
not
they
a
just
single one.
jokingly say, go home, or you like us better, don't you? That, that kind of thing.
Like-
I'm like, of course I like Bermudian better.
Like we talked about this when we had this discussion originally. Rivalries don't mean anything.
No,
To
they don't.
nobody ever.
It was pretty much just people getting into a room being like, okay, who's gonna be rivals with who?
Exactly.
I think so. Yeah.
And I don't even know how it started with us, because Biglerville sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, back in the 70s, when
Our
the
rival.
when the
Our
rivalry
rival is victory.
when the rivalry started in the 70s, our school apparently the best football team around, and Bermudian was
Supposedly.
terrible. Then they switched places, and I think that just started it even worse.
I just love how I actually listened to that podcast recently because
Really.
this week's animation is from it.
Ooh,
Oh,
can we get a
okay.
hint?
It is Oh, it has to do with teachers.
All right,
Yep.
That doesn't help me.
cool.
That's your hint.
I'll see it.
It's actually not.
I
done
loved the animation you did from my mushroom story.
Oh
Yeah.
my god,
And
your face was awesome.
Your
There's
drawing
just
looked just
different
like my
pieces.
dad. I love when he just...
It's because I had to look up a picture of him to see.
How'd you look a picture of him up?
I just searched for him on Facebook.
Oh yeah, he does.
Well-
He does have a Facebook. I forgot.
Yeah,
He doesn't
because
ever
I
use
completely forgot what he looked like.
it. But yeah, I was like, "Whoa, where's
You
my?"
know Alvin.
I even
Is he
showed
ready?
it. I showed it to him and he laughed.
Did he remember that?
Did he?
No, he never. That was the first time he learned about why our screen door busted in.
Oh,
Oh.
I was like,
that was lovely.
I was like, "Are you serious? You never knew it was because I had mushrooms in my shirt pocket and I wouldn't
Drop
open
them.
the door or drop them to open the door." He's
That-
like, "No, I had no idea what happened." I'm like,
That's
"Well,
like
now
the-
you know."
That's like the time I was sick.
20
with-
years later,
That's like the time I was sick with the flu for a week in like 7th or 8th grade.
you got some mushrooms and kicked open the door, right?
Not quite. My
Yeah.
my mom stayed home with me all week because I was sick with the flu. The reason this initiated in the first place was like Monday morning, like 4 or so in the morning. I threw up like all over the bathroom floor, and I was
Ew.
like, ugh. But I immediately felt better afterward,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
just played it off for a week. And my mom still does not know.
A week.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yep.
Wow.
I remember one time. I think it was like 2nd grade or some shit.
Some shit.
I didn't want to go to school, so I popped open a can of dog food and just like dumped it in the toilet. But then my mom was like starting. I could hear her like coming into the kitchen, so I'm like, oh shit. So I put the can like behind the toilet, and then I said, oh, I threw up, and she's like, oh okay. So whatever.
Okay.
And then it was like 10 minutes later. She's like, found the can. I'm like, oh.
When I was in 2nd grade,
Then I went to school. Just-
Damn it.
No spoilers or anything. but-
it's not about being sick, but it's about trying to
Then
lie.
we don't care
Trying to
about that.
obviously lie, and it's like, okay.
Didn't work out for you?
When I was in 2nd grade, we had indoor recess one day, and I had to pee really bad. And I'm sitting there playing checkers with this girl, and I asked the teacher if I could go to the
How
bathroom.
all good stories start.
Yeah.
by the way.
And I asked the teacher if I could go to the bathroom, and she said no.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to go to the bathroom during recess, so I'm like, oh great. So I peed myself in the chair. And when I got up to do something after I clearly pissed myself, and the teacher's like, did you pee yourself? I'm like, no, the seat was wet when I sat down.
Yeah.
So then they made me go down to the nurse,
Got 'em.
and the nurse was fairly far away, so I went down.
Peed myself
Saddle.
again.
Every hallway that I took, I was up against the wall. And just, what's the word I want to use?
You
Sounds
just
like-
shimmied.
Yeah, I shimmied down the wall because I didn't want anyone to see I pissed myself, so I shimmied down the wall
And there
the
was a
whole way
streak.
down to the...
Yeah, that's not good.
No, it was the walls were the same color.
They were. Yeah.
Typical school wall beige.
Oh, yeah.
School beige.
School beige.
I love that color.
And I just-
They got the sample down at Lowe's.
It's got it's the same. It's on the same swatch as like airport gray.
Yep, and I
Yeah.
passed all these teachers. Oh, hi, Erica. Oh, hi.
You feeling all right?
And then I was mad because my mom was working. No one was home that day to bring me clothes, so I had to wear these ugly sweatpants all day. And I was so mad because my
But
green...
you pissed yourself, sweatpants.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. But
It's
I
on
thought...
that swatch too.
I just
Kiss
think
yourself
back,
sweatpants.
and I think back, I'm like, yeah, they were gonna believe that I sat in a chair that someone else peed. It was wet when I sat down.
Amber, do you have any stories like that where you told a lie that was very obvious? Because I'm sure you have several.
Say no, and then that's what you can go with. That's,
Yeah. Because you're very bad at lying.
Yeah.
I got another one after that.
Yeah, but give me a minute to compile the details.
Okay.
So
Okay,
I could
I'll
go
tell
on.
my second one.
Cool.
This also happened in 2nd grade. I was real bad in 2nd
It's
grade.
a great episode for animations.
We
I'm
were
excited.
learning this song for our spring concert. It had something to do with birds in a tree or something. So we're on the front of the
Okay.
room singing, and my teacher notices.
And I pissed myself.
And my teacher notices I'm chewing on something, and she's like, "Do you have gum?" I was like, "No, I don't have gum." Erica spit it out. I'm like, "Mm-mm." So I'm like hiding it in my mouth, and she's Erica, and I go, "Bleh." And what I was chewing on was a spring to a lead pencil,
Oh.
and I.
What? It just shot off. It was never seen again.
I stole things from kids, and the teacher's room.
What?
I stole
I'm
things.
gonna take this laptop over here now.
In
It's
second,
another piece of the puzzle.
I
Jeez.
stole erasers. I stole crayons. I stole a koosh ball. Cars.
What's wrong with
I
you?
stole cars.
Yeah.
In second
I
grade.
stole,
And
you
wouldn't
know,
steal a bear.
You wouldn't.
All those second graders driving to school.
And my teacher's room was extremely cluttered, so I hid things in her shit all around the classroom.
All right.
Why?
It was like a real
Why
life
did any
I
of this
Spy.
happen?
It was great.
It was second grade.
It was just for the thrill. Second grade kleptomaniac just taking shit just because.
Just taking shit, pissing themselves, eating springs.
Yeah.
You know?
She's
Man,
a renegade.
your second grade year was wild.
It was, and after that, I'm
Jeez.
like, that's not gonna happen.
That's
again.
all, folks.
So I can't actually think of any stories where I actually lied for more than like 3 seconds. So
That was the lie.
Yeah, that's it. Done. You're good.
no, like I can't. But my mom always had this thing where she thought I was lying all the time.
Yeah.
So like she would like question me on everything. So like I'd like get a snack and she'd be like, "What'd you get?" And I'd tell her, she'd be like, "Let me see your tongue." I'm like, "What?" She'd be like, "There's peanuts in your tongue. I thought you said you had cashews." And I was like,
What? What's that matter?
It looked the same. Yeah, she would get like really like in detail on checking up on my lies.
You said you were getting chocolate. That looks like dark chocolate to me.
Your mom gets uptight about very specific things and then isn't.
Yeah, my mom is like, he said the other day, which is a good thing that you said. You said she goes back and forth between completely awesome and a complete prude.
I think it's a
I
prude.
think you said prude.
Oh.
Yeah, I ended up shoveling our driveway for nearly 4 hours on Thursday.
And got frostbite.
And got frostbite that looks like a dog barking.
Where is this?
That does-
You see it? You see it?
No. It's too dark. You'll have to show me later.
I'll show you later. But
Okay.
anyway, so basically the concept of that was I was like, I'm going to be nice because I'm home, and I will shovel enough for her to get into the garage. Don't have to do it. No, I'm not going anywhere. I'll be nice for her. So I do that. Takes 2 freaking hours.
Yeah, because there was forever snow.
Yes. And it
Forever.
was still snowing.
I wanna
be
Forever snow. I love how we both started singing that.
That's great.
Well, then she calls me, and she's like, "Are you shoveling?"
Snow?
I'm like, snow right now.
I'm like, "Yes, Mom."
No way.
Ah.
How many snow?
I hate myself.
So I was like, "Yeah, Mom, I'm shoveling so you can get in the driveway and park in the garage where I can't park because
Breaking
your car
the snow.
is."
Breaking the snow.
Breaking the comedy of snow.
And so she gets home.
That's my job.
She gets home,
future.
and I've been shoveling for 2 hours, and she's like, "This isn't done."
Thanks,
I was like-
Mom.
I was like, "Yeah, I shoveled so you can get in the
Now she
driveway."
grows a Joseph Stalin mustache.
She is stalling when she comes in the door.
It just goes.
She's
Starts
like,
speaking
"Why?"
Italian.
I think you mean. I think you mean Russian.
Russian.
What did you say?
I said Italian. I meant Russian.
Same thing.
Yeah, easy to
Same,
confuse.
same.
Yeah, same thing.
They're next door neighbors, right? Across some other countries.
You know, I just thought of the Roman Empire again.
Yeah.
Well, that's right, because they're Italy.
Lampshade Molotov.
At
Go
least he
on.
didn't wear a
She's like, "So
mushroom
I have a
hat.
tax appointment, and I need to get out of the driveway too." And I was like, "You're not going to do your tax appointment. They're not going to be open. Nothing's open. My school hasn't closed in 3 years, and they closed."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, I was on hold with them for 20 minutes, and after 20 minutes, I got a voicemail that said like, leave your name and whatever." So I
did.
So I did, and I said, "If nobody calls me back, I'm gonna show up to my appointment." And I was like, "If nobody's there, no one's gonna get your voicemail and be able to call
And
you
chances
back."
are they
Yeah.
would have answered it.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I
The only
said.
time they wouldn't is if it was like lunchtime.
But it wasn't. And she left.
Oh, at 2 in the morning.
She
That's
left.
lunchtime.
She pulls out of the garage, stops her car, gets out, comes into the house. "You didn't shovel where I could back out." Because she has to be able to back her car out of the garage and go down the driveway forwards.
And
I'm
then
like,
Casey's face.
Yeah.
Yes. That's basically what I did. But, like, I park in the driveway because I have to, because her car takes up the entire garage because she doesn't know how to park. And I drive directly backwards down the driveway, which is semi-ridiculous because it curves at a weird angle and it's kind of narrow.
Runs over
And
the lawn.
she
No, it's all
can't-
good.
like, just back straight out of her lovely little garage where she has no snow. And then after 3 hours of me shoveling, I was like, that's it, I'm done. And she was like, okay, well, you can either make dinner or finish the driveway. And I was like, duh, I'll make dinner. And I made delicious fish tacos. And she said it was
winning.
She said it was she said it was the best dinner she had all week. And at first I was like, wait, it's Monday. And I was like, no, it's Thursday. That's actually a compliment. So then she's like, oh, after we'd finished eating, and I like literally carried the food to her, she says, oh, by the way, I didn't do your car or under your car or around your car, so you have to finish that tonight.
Oh.
I was like, it is now 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Not 11 o'clock.
Luckily,
not 13 o'clock.
Luckily, her boyfriend came around hour 4 and was like, oh, you're shoveling, I'm going to shovel too. Didn't ask any questions, just was a human
like
being
a
and
decent
helped.
person.
So yeah, I was outside for 4 hours.
There was like 3 people on our road, just our neighbors, like the farmer down here, our neighbor next door, he puts a plow on the front of his little John Deere tractor,
Yeah.
and another neighbor up the street with a plow. They all were going up and down the streets looking for people to shovel out.
Cool.
That's
Good
cool.
for them.
When we
Yeah.
first
I
moved
wish the lake was like that because they don't allow PennDOT to pay to plow the roads.
How do they do it?
People volunteer. So if people
Why
don't
don't
feel
they
like
allow
it,
PennDOT to do it?
because it's private lake and it's dumb.
I guess they don't have.
hate that place.
I guess they don't. They don't. I don't know. That just sounds retarded.
It's
When
awful.
we first moved into our house, it snowed, and my mom and I were both like, oh, we should go do that eventually. And we watched Netflix for like an hour and a half, and then like about an hour and 15 in, we hear... I would like out the
What was
window. There was just some random guy like plowing our driveway.
Nice.
And I still keep waiting for him to come back, but he never does.
He's dead now.
He's a
I mean,
wandering spirit.
my grandma just had both her neighbors come and plow her driveway. There's like 2 trucks in her driveway plowing it out. I'm trying to picture that working out.
Altruism.
Because both of them, it's a truck with a plow attached to the front of it. So I don't know how 2 trucks were in the driveway at the same time plowing.
Phrasing. You mentioned winning. Did you guys hear about how they ended up finishing off
Oh my
2
God,
guys,
yeah.
2.5 Men?
Yeah.
2.5 Men, yeah.
I don't
You were there for that because we were discussing.
How did
that.
they end it? Because I don't care, but
They ended it in just.
How'd they
about,
do it? I don't want to know, but just tell
They
me.
ended it in just about the best way possible. Basically, Charlie was not
Which one's
dead the
Char-
entire time. Charlie Sheen.
oh, I thought you meant there was a character named Charlie. I don't
There
watch
is.
the show.
Well, there
There
is,
is
and
a
it's
character.
Charlie
His
Sheen.
His name is Charlie
I
Sheen,
didn't-
and he is Charlie Sheen, basically.
Yeah, because they got rid of him and put Ashton Kutcher on the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
But apparently, he wasn't dead. He like the
His
way they
character
the
was
way they
dead?
killed him off
Yeah.
because of the whole issue
Yeah.
with that. The way they killed him off in the first place was he and like his crazy neighbor who has like the most psychotic crush on him had him run over by a subway, or at least that was her story. Apparently, she had hid him in his basement, or in her basement,
Yeah.
this whole time. And
So I always wondered how they got Ashton on the show and just instantly replaced Charlie.
yeah, they basically killed him off. I want to say literally, but I don't know.
Well, how was it they were able to replace him? See, I don't understand that. How it went from Charlie Sheen's
Didn't,
dead
you,
now.
didn't you just
He
get
did-
done saying you don't care?
I don't care, but it bugs me. That's the only thing about the show
He
that
just
bugs
showed
me.
up. I think I watched the episode. If I remember correctly,
Yeah.
he was trying to kill himself by just jumping into the ocean
Yeah.
and just decided against
Yeah,
it.
he was some sort of internet billionaire or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like his wife had left him, and so he was gonna go kill himself. And eventually, Alan, the closet gay, was like, "Just come on and live with me. It'll be great."
Okay.
But apparently, what happened was like Charlie Sheen, Charlie the character, had escaped and was threatening to kill Alan and Ashton Kutcher's character and whatever. And they kept getting death threats.
Yeah.
And it was really creepy. And then they were like hanging out on their back porch, and they were basically just making jokes about him, like the type of person that he is. And then they see a helicopter carrying his piano, and it's like heading right for them. And they're like, "Oh God, what? Wouldn't that be funny if that was his piano and he was coming to kill us?" And they're like laughing, and then like the shadow of what you assume to be Charlie shows up at the front door, and the piano lands on him and kills him.
Huh.
And then like right after that, Chuck Lorre, who produced the show or whatever. He's sitting in his director chair and he goes, "Winning."
Yeah, it wasn't bad. And then a piano falls on him.
Yeah.
I could expect that. I think he does Big Bang Theory too.
He does a lot of things.
He does a lot of things, and most of them are mediocre.
I
said it.
I like Big Bang Theory.
Well,
I don't
yeah.
at all.
I do.
I've said this before. I don't know if I've said it on the show or not, but it's smart jokes for stupid people.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it anyway.
And once you said that, I realized you're absolutely
But
right.
I also
Yeah.
like Kaylee Cuoco, so I like watching it for her. And
That
I like
doesn't
I
change
like
anything.
Jim Parsons.
If anything, she's the problem.
You're the problem.
Isn't that just the best comeback ever? Take whatever you just
Oh,
said.
yeah.
And say,
Nailed
you're the
it.
blankety
Fucking nailed
blank.
it.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Your mom goes to college.
Yeah. That was my favorite movie. Like 11 years ago, I was obsessed with
Napoleon
it.
Dynamite.
Oh yeah.
Really?
That movie
I was
fucking
obsessed
awful.
with
It
it.
was awful.
I look
Fun
back at it
fact,
now. I'm like, what the hell was wrong with me?
I have never seen that.
Good.
That's
It's
okay.
not worth it. No, but I used to have a poster, and I had. No, I didn't have a shirt.
The only
But-
scene I can remember off the top of my head is where he's like drinking milk and seeing like he's saying what's in it, and they're like, "Yeah, that's right," and he goes, "Yes."
I just always like.
He does that like 3 times.
I just
So
always
nice.
like Tina. Come get your dinner.
Yeah. Tina,
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Did you see that news thing where there was 2 llamas on the loose?
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
before you get on that, I was gonna say the only thing that I thought was clever was the opening like credits sequence where it was just plates of food.
Yep.
And like written on it. That was pretty clever. But anyway, had
Yeah.
nothing to do with the movie.
The
It was there.
llamas.
Yeah, llamas got on the loose. You said.
Oh yeah, did you hear about these?
I did not.
They were.
It was a white llama and a black llama, and they were
Was that
terrorizing.
from Selma too?
Yes, and they were terrorizing a neighborhood. They caught the black llama, but the white llama was still on the loose.
That's
Didn't one of them
stereotyping.
die? Didn't they kill one?
Probably. They were just all over this. I think they were in a neighborhood, like residential
Where was
area.
this?
I don't know.
I want to say California, but I don't think that's right.
One time, my brother and sister-in-law were driving down the road, and there was
One time we were llamas. Go on.
Glad you threw that in there. That's great.
Okay. Well, they saw like 6 or 7 police cars just like barrel past them, and they're like, "What the fuck?" So like later on, they like watched the news, and there was a herd of donkeys on the loose, and the cops had
On
to go
the
catch
I
loose.
just started singing that Christmas donkey song
They
in
were
my head.
being. Oh, that's awful.
yeah.
They were being stubborn.
Yeah, that blanket's an asshole.
creeping up on me.
Doggy.
Every time you lean forward, it's
And we were just talking about donkeys. That's funny.
It looks like a dog.
Dominic
from this
Blanket.
angle. There's something that I'm really excited about that's coming out in August.
lamps.
Wait, what?
What's in August?
In August, why are you laughing? Are you on Imager?
No.
Okay.
Imgur.
But I was laughing at you.
Okay. I'm excited for August because there's this Kickstarter that's happening that I just discovered, just totally on a whim. And have any of you, and this is a long shot because not many people have heard of it, there's this educational game that came out in like 1996 or something like that called the Zoombinis. Logical Journey of the Zoombinis. It
Is that like Zaboomafoo?
not even close.
What's it about? Maybe I know the game.
You might. It is a game in which you have like this group of 25 or 20 blue things that all like you at the beginning of the game you can customize them however you want or make them random, and they all have.
Oh my god, I used to love that game.
You actually know that
Yes.
game? Really?
He hasn't even gotten enough to
We
explain
played it
what
in
it was.
2nd grade.
I own it, but it doesn't run on Windows 7, so I have no way of playing it, which sucks.
I
But
played it on my computer that had the split keyboard with the like.
oh, those things are weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those were weird.
I
keyboards.
learned. That's where I learned to type on.
Really?
Yeah.
But what else happened?
Okay, so these characters called the Zoombinis, they have different hair, eyes, noses, and feet. And like they just have various like combinations of it, all of them. And you basically you get them on a boat and you make them because their land gets taken over by the bloats, which I assume are pirates. And so they leave to go find a new place to live. And you basically take them through these various logic puzzles. It's one of those. It's one of
looking
those
it
kids'
up.
games that is like it's not. It doesn't make you think
Yeah, I didn't
it's
play this
educational or anything because you feel like you're playing a fucking game. So they did it right.
They look like they're blueberries.
Basically, like some of them they have like propellers.
Yeah,
And some,
I didn't play this
with the
game.
propellers.
Yeah, and also their feet are propellers sometimes.
Oh yeah, and they have roller
skates. Yeah,
Yeah, I played that game in 2nd grade, and I loved it so much my parents got it for me.
that game is awesome.
I want it. Okay, so Kickstarter. Tell me about
There's a
that. I'm
Kickstarter
interested.
where you could only get it because it only works on Windows XP or before. But the guy who created it is making a Kickstarter to release it on modern platforms.
How hard is it to do that, really?
It's
you need
not.
a Kickstarter for that? Really?
Well, I don't know, but he's
got to be paid somehow.
Nah.
I just started looking up.
it's one guy doing it all by himself,
Yeah.
apparently. But anyway, he's like overhauling the whole game, as in like changing. It's gonna be the same game, but like the art is improved and like
Alright, that's a little better.
all the things are getting updated, and he's got a whole bunch of stretch goals that most of them have been completed. There's, I believe, 17 days left, and I backed that shit immediately because I was excited.
Yeah.
It's $15 to get the game
Okay.
as a download, so that's pretty cool. I'm very excited about it because it's one of my favorite games ever.
Yeah, I never even heard of it. I'm looking up
I have no
90s
idea.
video. I'm looking up 90s video games right now, or like 90s educational games, and I haven't heard of most of these. I remember Mega Math Blaster.
Who doesn't?
Me.
I can't find the math game that I love though.
But there were games like there were like every section was a different thing where you had
Carmen
to
Sandiego. I remember
organize. Yeah, I remember that.
Did you ever find her?
those. Yeah, I did.
Maybe.
Where in the world?
Oregon Trail. That was my favorite.
Oregon Trail is I'm actually not. I don't really care for it.
I
No,
don't
there
either.
was one that I loved, and I don't know the name of it, but it was a way for you to learn your addition, multiplication, subtraction, division.
I really
Where-
feel like there's no good way to do that.
No.
Well, you were given the problem, standard setup, and you typed in the answer and hit go, and there was a little race car at the bottom. If you got it right, it went through the finish line, and the crowd kind of cheered, and it showed that you got money. If you didn't, it hit a brick wall.
Oh,
And once you got a certain
you
amount,
killed a man.
and once you got a
the
certain
best game.
yeah, and once you got a certain amount of money, you could go buy race cars to race against this jackass. And
That's how he was labeled in the
Yeah.
book.
there was a motorcycle, and there was 4 different cars to choose from. Each were a different color. There was pink, red, yellow, and green.
Yeah.
And after you played the game long enough, you realized what was the worst car to get and what was the best car. And as soon as you picked yours, the opponent, who's the huge asshole, would show up, and everyone in the whole game would just go, "Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!"
Isn't that awesome though? So exciting.
But I don't even know what it was called.
My favorite character from Zoombinis was the pizza troll. Fleens? You're not Fleens! Then he like squeaks as he jumps off a rock. He goes, "Huh, whatever you are, make me a pizza!" And you make him pizza. And if you get it right, because it's just logic puzzles. So like, you get random combinations of them if you get it right. Then he gets all excited and he devours it.
What did it look like?
What, Arno the almost omnivorous pizza troll?
Was it this
He
thing?
looked like a tree trunk.
Oh, well
No, that's the glop monster.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you missed it.
No, I know what you're talking about. The glop monsters from Jumpstart first grade or something like that.
Kid pics.
Well, I just looked at the Kickstarter, and they have $77,000 out of $50,000.
Which is insane.
That's good.
Yeah.
So this was like a pretty big game then, isn't it?
I
And
guess it was, but,
I'd
like-
never even heard of it.
Yeah, no, not a lot of people I know. You're the first person I
I was
know who's
obsessed
talked
with it.
who's talked
It must
about
have come out after we were out of
1996.
elementary.
Well, I was in 2nd grade.
Oh, 96.
Yeah, that's
I was
when
in
it came
first
out.
grade when it came out.
Oh. Well,
I'm
it
surprised
wasn't.
we didn't have it.
It probably wasn't that big because I didn't play it until I was in 2nd grade, and I'm a couple years behind you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you guys are 4 years younger
Yep.
than me.
So that would have been 5 years after it came out. It got big.
Right. I guess.
So 2001.
But
Yeah.
I don't remember it ever being like that big a deal. They actually made 2 sequels, and they both suck.
As sequels do.
Yeah. There was one that was about mountain rescue or something, and then there was an island something. and they were both terrible. I only ever played them once, and I was like, this is garbage compared to the first one. Because I think it traded companies.
I see.
Like the rights or whatever. Because that'll happen. A lot of my favorite franchises, when they trade hands, they get terrible. Like with Crash Bandicoot.
Right. Yeah, that happens quite often.
Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot changed hands 3 times.
Really?
2 times. Started with Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Then it went to Traveler's Tales, which ended up they did it okay. And then some other company that I forget that ruined it, and there hasn't been a game since. They still own the rights as far as I'm aware.
I cannot find this math game, and it's pissing me off.
There's a game that I don't know the name of. It was a Jumpstart knockoff. I thought it was Jumpstart, but I'm fairly certain now that it wasn't. And if I could somehow get my hands on this game, I would just be so excited, because I remember it being really great. It was like these... Oh, wow.
Someone's being murdered in my kitchen.
Someone's beating the meat. It was about...
I don't know, we are having chicken. Maybe my dad is pounding down the chicken.
Well, as long as he's not choking it.
Ah!
Tell Alvin to cool it over there.
Barbie Detective.
Alvin.
His name is Bruce.
It was this game. Now, you guys have to tell me if you've heard of this one. Because as far as I'm aware, I'm the only one who remembers
a rabbi
it.
walking into a bar.
Out of Poople?
People.
Mm-mm.
Close enough, but, A for effort. It was this one where it was like these 2 adventurers and this, like, floating yellow brick that I guess was a computer, but it had eyes, and I guess, I don't even know what it was. But they're, like, observing this, like, ancient Mayan temple of some sort, and they were, like, you did all these tasks for different people who lived in the temple, and then when you accomplished a certain task, then these giant steps would raise up, and, like, you had to get to the top of this waterfall.
Okay.
I don't know what it's called, but it was something 4th grade, I think.
Jumpstart?
No, it wasn't Jumpstart.
Something for
Because I played Jumpstart all the time. So there was this fucking frog that was annoying as hell. Like,
Jumpstart did it right.
it taught you how to cook. You made meals in that.
You guys played shitty games when you guys were growing up.
We're just talking about educational ones.
I had an Aladdin game.
You
That
played
was
Doom.
awesome.
Yes, we know you played Doom.
No.
And
I had a game called Wacky Jacks,
Okay.
which was fucking awesome because...
Was it an educational game?
Yes.
Okay.
It was trivia, actually, a lot of trivia stuff.
Okay,
so
cool.
you had to know the shit. And it was set up like a game show.
Okay.
And the voice of the announcer was Don Pardo.
Who's that?
Yeah, who's
The
that?
guy who did Saturday Night Live until he died
Oh,
a couple
okay.
months
Yeah,
ago.
got it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's Saturday Night Live. That guy.
Aw, I didn't know he did. Aw.
But he did that game incredibly well. And that game was fun as fuck.
I also had a really fun Anastasia game. My
So
Aladdin
whatever.
game was on Windows 95, and the computer used to be in the back corner of our basement.
The basement, you know.
But I loved that game.
This is the sort of basement.
Yeah.
The livable space.
This is what my grandma calls the rec room.
This is where Mr.
You
Wilson
could
hangs
call
out.
it that.
Get out of here.
Okay. It's enough of that. Wacky Jacks. That sounds familiar, though.
It's a good fucking game.
I swear I've heard of that.
I'm sure a lot of the information is like outdated and shit.
Probably. I'll have to look it up to put in the links.
Yeah.
Here's a game called, looks like it's Mathy Ass.
Mathy Ass.
That's it, yeah.
Math, and then E, and then ass.
What?
M-A-T-H-E-A-S-S. Mathy Ass.
Mathmataz?
No, M-A-T-H-E-A-S-S.
Okay.
Mathy Ass.
Back in 2nd grade, we used to, like, every so often...
I would love to play Mathy Ass.
Mathy Ass. There was this show. I don't know who produced it or anything. Like, I don't even know if it was on television. But it was this show called Mathmataz. And it involved some weird puppet-looking things. And apparently...
Sesame Street.
Well, kind of. It was like a
Probably
bird.
made by Jim Henson.
It was like a bird, a bear. It was Banjo-Kazooie. There was a hermit crab and an Elvis impersonator
And a jackal.
who was not a puppet. He was an Elvis impersonator.
And that's the saddest part of all.
And that's the truth.
And that's the mathy ass.
Yeah. All I
Whatever.
Lennon just gave up.
Whatever.
Mathmataz.
I went to type in
That cracks
90s
my
math,
neck.
and it combined. It came out as 90s math.
Somebody wants... Oh, yeah.
It's math, math, math.
Smath math.
Math, math.
Smath math. Smash Mouth teaches math.
Can we make
It's
that a
called
thing?
Smath.
Can we make that a thing?
Somebody once told me 4 times 4 is 16. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
That would be amazing.
Hey now, you're a math star.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
Get your facts straight, bitches. They had bitches.
That's why that game didn't
Yeah,
take
that's
off.
why it didn't
Yeah.
take off.
Didn't work out for them.
I'm just so mad that I'm looking up my favorite game and I can't
Jesus.
find it. All I see is math blasters, and then I say ass blasters, and I don't want to play that.
Assmataz.
I like ass blaster.
No, you really shouldn't.
No, you're probably not. No.
Erica, have you ever been properly ass blasted?
Oh, my chair.
Your chair has been ass blasted?
No
We're
one
learning
wants
more
to
and
be
more
ass
about her every day.
blasted.
Erica, have you been ass blasted? We're
All
all
the
here
time.
for you.
All the time.
Amber?
By the ass blast trolls.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
My brother once ass blasted a frog.
How?
And then we switch topics.
Yes, we're not getting into that. What else do I have?
If I type in racing. Math racy.
Math racy.
There's really no story behind this. I just wanted to announce this, but I discovered a mashup of Strong Bad's Come On Fahugwa Gods song mixed with Uptown Funk.
Oh,
Didn't you tell us that last
Beautiful.
time? Last
No,
week?
I didn't tell it on the show.
Oh.
I told you afterward.
Ow. I see.
Come on Fahugwa Gods, come on Fahugwa Gods. Who's
Cool,
that
great.
Fahugwa Gods?
The big
Cool.
thing right now, I had never heard of Uptown Funk until some
Vocal
middle
Gods?
schoolers were singing it. But apparently there's this Vine that went around that they're obsessed with, where they took the Little Einstein theme song and remixed it.
With Uptown
The
Funk?
fuck is
No.
Little Einstein?
It's those baby videos, like educational DVDs you play for little
Stacy is
babies.
obsessed with Little Einsteins.
Okay.
It's a little bizarre.
But and then a friend of mine, he did a picture of it with little Albert Einsteins floating in space.
Okay.
Nice. Nailed
But
it.
the kids kept... I had never seen the show, but they just kept seeing... I don't know. Why can't I remember this game?
It's not Ass Blasters, is it?
Math Blast.
F-Blast.
Meth Blasters. That's Keith's game.
Math
I mean,
blast.
Heath's game,
That's
not Keith.
Yeah. He's not gonna... Alright, so I'm going to... Tonight I have a show. It's the
Yeah.
Roast of Burl.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm so disappointed Heath is not going to be there because I've got a great fucking joke for him.
What is
I
it?
love it. It's alright, so there's two Heath jokes. I'll just run through them both.
Okay.
It's Heath Walkemeyer. What can we say about Heath Walkemeyer that medical science hasn't already tried to explain and failed? Heath has done so many drugs that he could play in the Rolling Stones. What? Heath Richards? Huh, no. And that's what I was going to... They go to fucking waste. Now they're
Pretty good, though.
done. Then they're done.
Heath
Oh, it
Richards.
sucks. Now all I can say about... I got a great one for Burl. For those of you who don't know, which is probably most of you, Burl is a big fat guy.
Who's very, like,
Burly.
He's
burly. Yeah.
Ah!
There you go. Add
He's-
that to your repertoire.
Yeah. He's like more than Rolls fat.
Oh, my.
Like I'm like he's a big dude, and like
Yeah.
he like
He's a big.
like
Big and tall.
Gabriel Iglesias big,
Okay.
like that size.
Is he annoying,
If not
Gabriel
bigger.
Iglesias?
No.
Okay.
No, he's okay. He's
like my
okay.
gay pre-salon teacher.
What I'm
Is
going
he
to start
fat
with
too?
is
he is. His fat has fat.
Oh,
cool.
I never imagined him being that way, but alright.
Oh, yeah.
Now I know.
And bald.
So what I'm going to start with
Okay.
is I don't see Burl a lot, which is weird because usually you can see him from just about anywhere.
Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, so it's gonna be great. I'm gonna
Isn't he,
love
like, really vulgar, though? Like, fat and vulgar?
it. I used to think so, Because the first time I ever met him, the first time I went to the
Yeah,
Cove
I've never
open
seen him
mic,
because he only goes to the Cove.
yeah, I assume it's because he can't get his ass out the door. That's a joke too. The first time that I went to the Cove open mic, he hosted because for whatever reason, Nipsey from the X wasn't there.
Ugh,
And-
it's fucking Steve Sacramone.
Burl said like fuck or talked about his dick in like every sentence, and I'm like,
Okay.
I do not like this guy.
Right.
And then I realized that was just that one time, and he's actually decently funny.
Well, he won some contest, right?
That's because he brought half the crowd,
Yeah.
and the guy who
Well-
got second place brought the other half.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you win.
It wasn't supposed to be. No one said it was crowd participation until everything was over and fucking Burl David Reed goes up and goes,
Burl
all right,
David
now everybody clap for your favorite, and that's going to be like who wins. It's like, fuck,
Okay, yeah, that is
fuck
dumb.
this.
Yeah. I thought that was how it was
Reader
in the
Rabbit.
beginning. Anyway.
Dag flabbit.
Can't flab it. Who says that?
Old people.
Yeah,
I feel like there was someone specific who says that. Like from a cartoon or something.
you said it right now.
Can't flab it. I don't know.
Lou
Was it
Pickles.
Elmer Fudd?
No, Lou Pickles. You got it right. That's right.
I thought you were just saying something. Turns
Well,
out
Erica
you were
does
right.
love pickles.
I do love pickles and popcorn. Pickle
Pickles
flavored
suck.
popcorn.
Oh
Hell
my
yeah.
god!
Pickles
There's
suck.
pickle flavored
Pickle?
potato chips.
My
Pickle
mom,
flavored pickle
Piggle?
chips.
Piggle
You
flavored?
said piggle.
Pickle flavored pickles, best.
Pickle
my mom
flavored.
has an obsession with putting Oreos
pudding?
in her popcorn.
Oh. I'd say she and Bill Cosby
Oreos
would get
and-
along together really well.
My friend's aunt makes this popcorn and then she covers it in white chocolate.
Welcome to
She
Popcast.
literally just like crumbles up Oreos and puts it in her popcorn.
That's probably decent.
Is she a spinnaker?
I don't know what that means.
Seems like spinnaker territory.
I want to cry because I cannot find my game that I love.
Always
so
putting
much.
chocolate sauce in their nachos.
Hardline,
Hardline Miami.
Lynx,
Yeah.
LYNX, that's what's at the bottom of our
Rim Runner.
description. Rim Runner.
We don't need to know what that is.
Rim Runner.
Well, now I know what that was. I only saw it for a second because the picture disappeared, but it looked like one of those, like, posable figures you see in art classes.
Oh, okay,
The
yeah.
wooden ones.
Yeah.
Riding a raptor.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
You know, Rim
Rim
Runner.
Runner.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I doubted you.
Oh, that's actually what it was?
No.
Oh.
No, it wasn't, but...
Death Duel.
Death Stool.
Urban. Ew.
What?
Death poop.
Tank Ticks.
What are you looking at?
90s games that it's
Why
a
are
site
they-
for all these 90s games that
Why
if
are
you can't
they all
remember.
alliterations?
Because
I
it's
don't know.
catchy.
But this is sheep. You throw sheep out of a tank.
That's educational.
Yeah. Can sheep survive getting blown out of a tank?
Siberia.
Oh, great.
Siberia.
That's great. Can we talk about something real now?
This is real.
I don't
These
know
actually
what, but-
existed.
Alright, then it's time for Today I Learned.
Cool.
This is a pretty small one.
Dr. Chaos.
Oh yeah, I have to add that in. The unemployment office song. Today I learned that space and makeup are pretty similar.
Space makeup?
Space and makeup.
Makeup.
as in
Okay.
Because cosmology and cosmetology,
yeah.
they come from the same thing. Root word.
What? Really?
Yep. Cosmos, I guess,
Oh.
is what it is.
Yes.
Stars.
No. It
Oh.
means order.
Oh, alright.
Space makeup.
It's Greek for order or something to that effect.
Yes.
Because I was curious about that, because I kept forgetting which was which, because you know, you're in cosmetology school, and I keep forgetting what the word is, if it's cosmology or cosmetology. So I had to look up and see if those were actually similar. And it turns out they are. They came from the same root word, which is order, somehow. I don't know where the connection is, but it's in there somewhere.
That is very interesting.
I also recently learned, and I put this on my the Stuff You've Probably Wondered Facebook page a while back, about the reason why we call the trolleys, the American version of trolleys are those rail cars
Yeah.
you see in San Francisco, and trolleys for British people are like shopping carts and things you carry things on. The reason that changed was... Actually, let me look it up because I can't remember off the top of my head. But I will find it real quick and I will tell you. Amber, don't fall asleep.
Okay.
That was easy.
Yep. I win. Okay. What I wrote was... The word branched into two meanings during the end of the 19th century. The British word trolley, which came first around 1823, probably came about based on the Suffolk dialect. This caused the phrase to roll to blend together into one rolled word troll. Thus, a British trolley usually refers to shopping carts or any type of cart in general that is pushed, especially those that ride along a track. This specifically caused trolleys to change slightly in the United States, as trolleys were built and used starting in the latter half of the 19th century, referring now to entire vehicles that ran along tracks. The American idea of a trolley is pretty evident.
Those crazy Brits.
That sounded very chickeny. Well done.
You know, I love that Purdue commercial with the chickens, and they're saying our chicken, they're just saying like our chicken comes from good farms and the stuff, and it has no added shit in the chicken. And this one little chicken goes, bark, bark.
You're all insane.
We were watching On Demand today
Bark, bark.
to watch my favorite show, because I don't have cable, so we
Yeah.
were watching it at his house.
It's actually pretty good, I have to say.
Cable?
Awesome. He doesn't like dramas, and it's a drama.
Fuck drama.
I don't. Okay.
What is the
let me refine
drama
that.
you're talking
I
about?
don't
Chicago
like.
Fire.
I don't like purely dramas.
Yeah.
If there's other stuff in there, then it's good. Like crime dramas, I found to be mostly the same.
They are. That's why.
But this isn't a crime drama, so it's not. It doesn't suck.
Yeah, but since it's on demand, almost all of the commercials in between segments are the same.
Mm-hmm.
And we must have watched that one commercial with Gwen Stefani.
Oh yeah, that one.
She's like launching handbags and golf carts, and then she shows up and she's like, "Hey, I like your hair," and the girl goes,
Like,
You know she's 46, right?
There's high pitched. Okay.
She's older. Oh, she's old, not old.
That
She's
changes
older.
everything.
Was she the wait?
"Oh,
Is she the one who was in the band?
No
No
doubt.
doubt.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yes.
An even better commercial that we saw repeatedly.
Was the Jesus one?
No,
Okay.
even better than the Jesus.
I don't know
one.
what to think.
I
of
love the
that
walk-in
show.
tub with the old man singing at the end.
Do you want to talk about the Jesus one before I talk about the best one?
I was just gonna mention that it looks dumb because it's
a movie called A.D.
Is it a movie?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
And it's about like the Bible continues.
Oh,
my God,
yeah.
the guy is Jesus, and Jesus does a thing, and it's supposed to seem like really action-packed.
But the,
Yeah.
Action-packed!
Because that's how Jesus is, you
Yeah.
know?
but they're all white.
Jesus
so
is
it's
Yeah.
wrong.
Right.
But don't
So-
tell people who are actually Christian that Jesus wasn't white.
So the best commercial was for Chase Sapphire Preferred.
Which one?
Oh yeah! Now I remember what you're talking
It's a
about.
card that you can use. There's no like foreign charges or anything, whatever. Who cares about that? The cool part is they're like saying like, you know, all these different places you can go to
Hello,
use it.
Venetian cobblers.
Yeah, like stuff like that. But at the very end of the commercial, there's a guy in an orchard with two baskets sitting in front of him. And it looks like he's standing in the baskets, and he just, like, beckons towards the camera to, like, come with him. And the first time I saw it, I was like, is that guy standing in the basket? Why does he want me to go in the basket with him?
Come with me on basket adventures.
But then he takes a step, and you realize he's actually behind the basket.
It looks like he's standing in the basket.
But I'm like, camera angles, dude.
There was this one time when I was in high school, I mentioned before on podcast before that my principal during my high school career was this giant,
Hitler.
tall, derpy-looking Hitler.
He was a Hitler.
Derpy Hitler.
He was not a very intelligent dude.
Diddler.
Derpler.
So everybody always made
Simpler Derpler radar.
Hurtler, Derpler, Ruder.
Yeah. that
Herber
one.
Gerber.
Yes, that.
That was a hiccup.
We made fun of him constantly, kind of with the same ferocity that how you guys made fun of Charlie.
Was he covered in fur? Ferocity.
No. He had a disgusting upper lip that was covered in hair.
Ew.
Sounds like a great guy.
No. He had a hard-on for all the wrestlers. And by that I mean he wasn't like inappropriately touching them or anything. He just let them get away with anything.
Of course.
Like one time he caught them all smoking weed outside the parking lot, and he's just like, "Get out of here."
You crazy kids.
You crazy kids, you may be doing illegal activity, but I'm just gonna let you go because you're just so crazy.
What are you doing in my basement? Get out of here.
But there was this one time we had a fire drill, and we had walked outside and we were just waiting, and like the first person to come outside to let us back in was the principal, and he does the beckoning thing where he just like full body like swings his hand backward like that. You can't see what
Like
he's
you
doing.
think he's gonna do a flip?
Well, what I said was, like, right as he did that, I was standing next to one of my friends, and I was like, "Come on in! Welcome to my clubhouse!" And he just lost it. It was great. Because I feel like he like, hung out in his office, like, under the desk. Like, just hanging out.
Under the desk.
Under the desk.
Under the desk.
The comedy laws.
You go back in, he built a fort.
Yeah. Welcome to my clubhouse. This building is my sanctuary. And also the place where I hold fun meetings. Oh, I peaked the audio.
Did you?
Right. Yeah, I did. I'm sorry, would you like to repeat that?
Sound like
Thanks.
my cat when she stretches.
On the one episode of Chicago Fire where that girl was pregnant, I couldn't help but laughing when she went into labor because she sounded so fake. She was like, oh!
And then the baby came out, and the guy just like picks it up and carries it away. And I'm
He
like,
throws
wait, you forgot to cut the umbilical cord. There wasn't one.
Movie magic. It came out totally clean.
Its eyes were open.
It's 3 years old.
It's off to college.
It's walking.
It's flying for
I
a
always
job.
I always love that. Like, there's some older movies that I'll watch, like, from the 30s, and
Yeah.
there was one set in a maternity ward, which was, like, a huge no-no back then, so the movie was like... I flailed my arms around at that. And whenever the woman gets wheeled in to have the baby, she's just flat. Her stomach is flat. She hasn't had the kid yet. And it's like, she's gonna have a baby, but where is it?
Oh,
Not there.
Yeah. Like, I never, like, or,
don't get
on the
Prego.
episode, on one of the last episodes of The Nanny, when she has the twins, she like, has, of a bump.
A tiny
They
bump.
probably were like, okay, inhale a lot right before we filmed. She's like, and then she's talking like this.
You mean she's talking like this?
Yeah, Erica. Erica, don't ever forget to use your
How did Fran Drescher get a career ever with a voice like that?
How now, brown cow?
No, you just sounded exactly like her mom in the show.
Yeah.
Thanks
to
for
go.
clarifying.
I haven't seen that show forever.
I never watched it.
I like The Nanny.
The guy who was she was nannying for, was in a movie called, from Disney Channel, something about vampires. I forget the name now.
The movie was called something about vampires.
That's
how cookie cutter Disney Channel is.
Fun fact, he was
Right.
the vampire.
Well,
That he was also in an episode of Law and Order where he was raping women.
Law and
yeah.
Order.
Oh, that sounds an awful lot like Law and
He
Order.
raped his mom's best friend.
They were just raping everybody all up in here.
Yeah,
I'm
be
all
sure.
about that rape. About that rape.
Correct answer is no, it cannot.
No
Yeah, no.
consent.
Yeah, I was gonna say no consent.
Stop.
that
Don't
rape.
touch me there.
This is my private square.
Riley sang that
Is that
once
the
on
Bill
the
Nye
podcast.
theme song?
Yes.
R-A-P-E. Get your hands away from me.
So am I the only
Bill
one?
Nye the Science Guy. It's the same song.
Bill.
So you know how like
Break.
so you know those articles where people are like, if you're a '90s kid, you remember all this
Oh
stuff.
god, I hate
Yes.
those.
are
and
stupid.
and the one is like you walk into class and the TV stands there with the TV and VCR, and it's like, and then your teacher showed you Bill Nye. No teacher I've ever had showed us Bill Nye the
I have-
Science
You
Guy.
had a
have.
deprived childhood.
Yeah,
Only once.
Not
every
one.
science class. At
I
least.
think maybe my 7th grade science teacher showed one video, and that's all I've ever seen. But elementary school, they didn't show us Bill Nye.
At least once a week. My school.
Ah, that was an attractive face.
I turned into a bird.
Ah, bark, bark.
Jesus God.
There it is. It only took us an hour and 4 minutes.
Save me from these people.
Hour and 5 minutes.
Bark, bark.
Wow.
She's
Okay.
laughing as she yawns.
Laughing as yawn.
See, I can't yawn. if
Laugh
I'm
as
laughing.
yawn.
That's what I said, wasn't it?
Stop! I
Way
need
to
to
identify what he said.
I need to finish this.
What?
The yawn.
Oh,
Yawn!
Here, I'll help. Yawn. It was
Oh,
that easy. I
I
didn't say
finished it
once.
for you.
My God.
There's something about the guy who was like the announcer on the show. That was something about him that I just recently found out, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, I only typed in Bill Nye the Science. It's close.
So on Tumblr, they've been the new meme of the month is taking horoscopes and rewriting them just so they're so terrible. And this one says, "How evil
You
is
mean
your..."
horoscopes?
Yes.
Horoscopes.
And this one says, "How evil is your sign?" And for Gemini, it says, "Actually a peacemaker." But as I scroll down, I thought it said actually.
Is that the Bill Engvall horoscope?
I thought it said actually a
Here's your
pacemaker.
sign.
And so I'm a pacemaker. Because I can't read.
Bill Nye the Science Guy was on.
Bill Nye the Science Turtle.
What's this song? Was on the show Numbers on an episode that I was watching.
I liked that show.
Yeah, I did too. I started watching it.
was pretty
over.
good.
He was watching a couple episodes with me. We just
It
made
didn't
fun.
suck.
No,
I'll say
that's
that.
yeah. That's what I thought too. That's where I came up with the theory about
Crime dramas.
Yeah, crime dramas, and also you could take one Timothy Miller,
Yeah.
toss him in that show, and it would be the same show.
Because
I don't know who that is.
He's the professor that I talked about a couple episodes ago, who is like a brilliant
Wow.
guy.
everybody's on their cell phone.
Everybody's on their cells. Oh, jeez.
That-
He very much likes talking
But
about
you
how he was
remember-
in the army.
He sounds like, who is that guy from Taxi?
Taxi.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
guessing it's a.
I know who you mean, but I can't think of his
Christopher
name.
Lloyd.
On the show
No,
Numbers.
He sounds like Christopher Lloyd.
On the show
Not
Numbers, the guy, I forget his first name in the show, but his last name's Fleinhart. He's
Flatheart.
Yeah, he's maybe it'll come to me later. He's Charlie, the math guy's best friend, and he's a science guy, and they do math and science together.
The guy who looks like Schmosby.
Yeah, no, that's Charlie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The other guy.
yeah, but his best friend, last name's Fleinhart. I can't remember his first name.
Richard the Flying Heart.
But everything
That's
he
it.
says is just like this like allusion to something bigger and like talking about like the stars are a great place for
and the world is a radish.
Overly eloquent.
Yeah,
Let's go with
he's
that.
very eloquent, and that is exactly the guy that Miller could replace.
Because let me describe him real quick again, just in case any of you missed that episode. He is an English professor who has some sort of mental issue of some sort.
Don't all
Maybe.
professors?
His name
Isn't that
was
a
Larry.
Isn't that a requirement by all professors that they must have something mentally wrong with them?
His name was Larry Fleinhart. Okay, continue.
Oh, okay. I was like, no, his name was Miller.
Larry.
No, this
Larry.
guy, he not a very good teacher. He doesn't like ask students questions. He just talks and asks people to make little notes
About stupid shit.
about
Most professors
things.
I had didn't bother asking questions. They just talked and expected you to write.
He's very terrified of earbuds.
They're just say earwax for a minute. I'm like, okay.
I wouldn't put it past him.
So if you gave him earbuds as a present, would he just like jump out a window?
He just probably wouldn't wear
Would he
them.
cry?
Because he's afraid that
Because he's an
if you
actual
have,
human being
if you
who-
have
with
earbuds in
rational
your
thoughts.
ears, then somebody could easily come up behind you and kill you. Because you wouldn't hear them coming.
Yeah.
That's the reason he doesn't like them.
You can argue that with headphones. Is he
Yeah.
afraid of headphones?
Yeah.
I imagine so.
He's afraid of anything. What about earmuffs?
It's a good question.
Let's just go ask him at this point.
Yeah, let's do that.
Are you
Well,
afraid
I
of
could
earmuffs?
ask him that, but he wouldn't answer it because any question you actually ask him, he will have a different answer that doesn't have anything to do with anything.
One of my art professors, when I would ask her a question, she rephrased my question in the form of a statement and walked away.
What?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for giving us that bit of information.
The one time I asked him a question, he was saying, okay, for our final project, you have to write a paper. But if you don't want to write a paper, you can kind of do whatever the fuck you want. And a summary, paraphrasing there.
He doesn't swear at all.
He doesn't.
He's terrified of swearing.
Yes. But, so,
You know what I mean.
I wanted to ask him a question, like, could I, like, paint a like, really detailed picture of what the scene looked like? And he was like, a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Sounds like Hershon.
Great.
And that was his answer.
Great.
I was
Sounds
like,
Hershon.
Nailed it.
I was like, wait, so that's like a 1,000-word essay? Is that what you're trying to say? Or like, what just is okay?
That's like how he was telling us we had to write a science fiction story for the science fiction class I'm in. Go figure.
Oh, go.
And he's like,
Ghost figure.
you have to write over 1,500 words, but if you don't, that's okay.
That's it.
If it's good enough, I'll just be like, oh crap, that's good enough.
But if you remember us talking about him before, he said constantly would ask us if we were okay.
Oh,
We'd be like,
yeah.
You guys okay?
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Oh,
No, you're
jeez.
not? Oh. So I just
You
imagine,
sound
like,
very concerned.
he does.
Yeah.
But I imagine putting him
You guys
into
never say anything.
a crime drama,
Ah.
and there's a dead guy laying on the floor, or like 6 of them, and he's like, "Are you guys okay?
Six.
Oh, you're not?
There was a
Oh no!"
There was
Oh,
a
jeez.
woman professor up at Shippensburg who was teaching anthropology and tried to get through an entire lecture having a heart attack.
Oh.
Did she make it?
No, the kids finally
Oh.
realized there was something. The students finally realized there was something wrong and went to go get somebody because she was just like, "I
Is
have a
that
heart
what she
attack."
sounded like? Ah.
But yeah, she was
Sounds like
teaching and
one
having a
note
heart
on a
attack at the same
cello.
time.
That's okay.
She made it.
He would always the professor we're talking about would always have he would always say very strange, eloquent things, like deep philosophical things, like it's an endless approaching without ever arriving.
All the time.
Oh,
Sounds like Hershon. That's
Christopher
exactly
Lloyd again.
right. Yep.
Is it?
Yep.
Is that what that impression I'm doing sounds like?
Yeah, it sounds exactly like that to me.
Okay. I guess it. Yeah, you know what? I guess it does.
Yeah.
Thank you, Erica, for that
You sounded like my cat.
Can we just hate each other or
Yeah.
something? Because every time somebody says something, we go, "Yeah, thanks, fucking get it." It's great.
I met my best friend's boyfriend for the first time last
He
night.
was tall and I didn't like it.
Yeah, we get it. No.
And I guess because she and I are such best friends that she shows me pictures and I'll see videos and she puts stuff on Facebook and I'll watch it, that I didn't realize that I hadn't met him yet. And he's introduced himself to Casey and I was like, cool, let's get started because I was doing her hair. And I was like, okay, let's get started. And he was like, oh, by the way, Amber, it's nice to meet you. I was like, what are you talking about? We've met before. And he's like, no, we haven't. I was like, what?
Because you stalked him
Nice
so
one.
much on
That dude was obsessed with
Legos.
Oh.
He was spending the
As
entire
people are.
yeah, he told us about just how obsessed with action figures he was. Whoa.
I'm sorry, did your chair just die?
I thought you threw your phone.
It looked like
I
a
realized
bed.
there was a phone in your hand.
No, it's I guess the way I'm leaning on it, it's
Okay.
all of this high.
Dude, Jesus lean.
Everybody
You ever
should
heard that?
lean.
No.
Don't. No, I'm just gonna tell you, don't. Just fucking don't.
No, well now you have to tell us about
Just it's like the worst Christian rapper you've ever heard in your life.
it. Oh.
I forget what his name is, but he's got a song called "The Jesus Lean," and
my-
it's fucking horrendous.
I am
Because-
not sad to say that I have never heard of any Christian rapper.
That's
Yeah, that sounds
good.
awful.
Good for you. I mean, but the
Christian rock bands can sometimes pull it off. Sometimes.
maybe.
But
This
yeah.
dude though, oh
Christian
my
rap
god, he's so
sounds
terrible.
awful.
It's awful because he. How do I want to say this? He
Try to offend as few people as
he
possible.
has his video. He's got rap videos. Like there's videos to go with these
Okay.
things, and it's so clear that the extras in his video are just people from the congregation that he just wandered over to and said, "You want to be in my video?"
Yep.
Because these are really old people,
Okay.
or really 4-year-old kids, or people who don't look
Really
like they have a
4-year-olds.
fucking clue.
They are super 4-year-old.
And they're supposed to lean back and forth, and they just don't get it. It's magical.
Step 1, lean back. Lost already.
Got dick caught in ceiling fan. Instructions unclear. It's
That's one of my favorite things Dave ever said. The two guys go on adventures when we went yard sailing.
Oh god.
He's like, I'll drink out of that. The thing where he's like, the how to have a happy marriage book we happened upon.
Yeah.
Which I don't know
yeah.
why we didn't buy. I think that would have been entertaining.
That might have been entertaining.
He is like, step 1, don't buy this book. Step 2, there is no step 2.
Dave is like the coolest dude.
Dave is hilarious when he's not on the podcast because he doesn't know what to say.
It's actually true. He is much funnier off podcast.
That's for sure. And I was gonna say a thing, and then I forgot.
Ken made this. When we went to the that's what he said.
I need to watch this video again.
Yeah,
it's apparently a lot funnier
it's
than
a
I
good
remember.
one. It's
I
a
loved
really
it,
good
but
one.
it's apparently even funnier than I thought it was.
When we went to that yard sale, we got back in Wes's truck and he like shows us. He's like, "Hey, I got this rubber band launcher that's made out of wood. It was like shaped like a gun, had a clothespin attached to the top of it, and you attach rubber bands on the end, and you let it go, and it would just go pew." And he I put the camera on him. I'm like, "So Dave, tell us about what you got." And he's like, "Ken made this." And we're like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, the old people who were selling it to me told me that Ken made this right before he died."
Ken was 7. It was
So I remember the thing I was gonna say.
Okay.
It was in relation to his Christian rapper.
Oh God.
In middle school, I've never heard a Christian rapper, but in middle school, we had this thing called Girls' Night Out, where they made you feel beautiful for who you really are. And
Oh,
stuff.
lovely.
And it was fun because it was like after school, the girls stayed, and you got a shit ton of free stuff. But one of the free
made it
stuff
all worth it.
was a CD.
Rape whistle.
All that shit ton.
The entire CD was 15 songs about rape.
Great.
Grape rape.
They knew what they were doing.
Gonna grape you in the
I
mouth.
was just gonna say that.
I win.
Damn it. I'm gonna tie you to the radiator and grape you to the mouth. In the mouth.
Grape you to the
Grape
mouth.
you to the mouth.
Grape you to the mouth.
And then we're doing the Jesus lean, and that's how children
I don't know how to do the
That's
Jesus
what
lean.
it's all
You go like
about.
this.
You should be thankful, and when you find
You
out
lean
the
on the-
Jesus lean,
Well,
You-
I'm
you're
gonna have to put in the
going to-
links.
You lean on the cross.
You are. Yeah. It's when you
It's more like
hang
choking.
lifelessly. Yeah.
Lean on the cross.
No.
Okay.
It's terrible. It's turbal, as they say.
Turbal.
Turbal.
Turbulence.
It's cerebral.
It's
Oh,
terminal.
jeez, this is turbal. Something Coach Z would say.
Absolutely. So it's about time to wrap up.
Yes,
Ish.
I was just about to say.
How I want to
Something
ask.
smells delightful.
Thank you.
It's
How I want to.
I'm sorry, my nose is tingling.
I want to. Is it like your spider sense? I want to ask. How have we gone this long without talking about Five Nights 3?
It's a good question. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
you didn't. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
Especially
you
with
played
him here, it's crazy.
Well,
I did play.
I've been editing How to Play Five Nights Freddy's 3, which is probably going to release Sunday, maybe.
I'll be
Tomorrow.
honest.
Because there's no fucking way to get it done
I'll
now.
be honest about this. I liked Five Nights 2 better.
I think I like Five Nights 2 the least.
Really?
I think, well, the cool thing about each game is that it was a totally different kind of, like, fear
Yeah.
and experience in each game. The
Yeah.
first one was, like, anticipation and,
What?
like, apprehension. The second one was total panic.
Stress. Yeah.
Yeah, and the third one is, like, this chess game with
Yeah.
one crazy fucking villain.
It's a good thing.
So I played that game. I don't think I even told you this.
The third one?
Yeah, I played the third one
Okay.
on his computer.
Yeah, she got to night 3 on the first try.
Yeah.
I bet I can do
Fucking-
better.
Fuck.
But it gave me legitimate nightmares.
Oh, yeah, it'll do that.
Oh!
Because
Hallucinations.
you know what? No, here's the thing. Like in the game, he can go in the vents. I
Yeah.
didn't see him in the vents at all.
Oh,
But-
that's how you lost, isn't it?
No,
Because
like
that's like
well,
direly important
he
to listen
just-
for the
no, but I
show.
checked the vents. I just never saw him in them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You never need to check them if you don't hear them in there.
Yeah, well,
You just gotta
I,
listen
I
for
knew
them. If
that.
you don't, just
But let
don't
me tell you
bother.
about the nightmares that I had.
Okay.
I haven't even heard about this.
Yeah.
Go on.
So it started out. I was in the shower and I looked up at the vent,
That's where they all start.
which I'm
in the
pretty
shower.
sure it was at my dad's house because it looked more like my dad's house
Okay.
than my house. But I looked up at the vent next to the shower, and there was a hand sticking out of it, and I was like, "Oh no, there's a hand!"
Oh,
so
no.
then I like sucked back up in the vent. So I like told my mom, and she's like, "Yeah, right, Amber, go back to bed." I was like, "I wasn't even in bed; it's the middle of the day." And so I was like, "Okay." So then the next time, so then I laid down in bed that night, and there was a hand or a face watching me from the vent that I could see in the dark
it was
somehow.
the purple guy.
And I was
Yeah.
just like, "Oh, okay." It was a human face, and I started talking to it. And my mom told me to shut up, and I was like, "I'm talking to people in the vents. Shut up!" And she told me to go back to sleep again. So then I was in the shower, and a hand came out, so I touched it, and it gave me a high five, so I grabbed it, I held on, and I screamed for my mom, and she finally believed me, because she saw the hand in the vent, so then we just went in the vent, started pulling people out, and then we took them to our local
How many people?
a lot.
800.
But
Okay.
none of them were whole people. Like, one was
okay.
missing an arm, the other was missing the entire left side, like,
Yeah.
it was, none of them were whole people, that's why they were in the vents.
Oh, of course.
So then we take all these, like, half people, and we go to our local pool, and we drown them all, and then...
But if there were parts of them, why are they still alive?
Wait, so it gets better.
Oh,
So then,
There's more!
after we drown them, the vent people overlord comes down and is like, now we can release all of the people, and these half people just, like, start killing everyone, and then I died and I woke up.
Good
And
job.
how high of a temperature was your fever?
I was gonna say you should probably never play Five Nights at Freddy's again.
I will
Yeah.
play 1 or 2. 3 just is crossing some on the line.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I
So-
had,
so-
there's
of a
something
fly.
really unsettling about it's hilarious and terrifying when you're like
Clarifying.
yeah
yeah, that's
when
it.
you're like, okay, I'm done looking at the cameras, I gotta go check. Oh, there he is. He's just
where he's like poking out the side.
poking out the side. He's like, sup?
Have you seen? I think it's creepier whenever you put down the reset panel and he's like on the right side of the door, but then he just zips back
Oh
in.
my god, yeah, that happened to me when I was filming for the
I
recording.
love it.
Yeah, that was a sound that
I'm
happened.
so excited to play that game because
You
I
can-
feel like I've cracked the code,
You can
so
play.
I want
Yeah,
to find
that,
out.
that game defeated me. I tried
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 different times and I couldn't get past any nights. Other than
Aw.
2.
That's sad.
Which
Um,
one?
What?
3 or 2?
I
7.
got past.
No, I
night
mean, in which game?
3.
Okay.
No, I beat Five Nights 1,
Yeah.
and I got to night 4 or 5 on Five Nights 2.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah,
So,
the game
yeah.
looks incredible. By the way, I discovered, I think, a plot hole
Okay.
that maybe you can help me out with,
Yeah, okay.
because I'm not sure if this is actually a plot hole or it's just me not thinking right. So, it's during Five Nights 2 when the kids are murdered, right? Because there's the one phone call where, I think it's night 5, where the phone guy's like, what are you doing here? Didn't you hear about what happened? Some guy took a suit and never mind, just finish your shift or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of implied that that's when it
Though
happened.
the costumes were already haunted to begin with, weren't they?
Well, the second one's a prequel.
Yes.
So
But I mean,
that's
from-
my question though. If they died in between night 4 and night 5, why do you get attacked before night 5?
because they're just haunted.
But nobody's died yet. Why are they haunted?
That's what
You're
I'm saying.
haunted.
Plot hole.
Yeah, I know, but Scott Cawthon said that they're just haunted.
Right, by the kids who were killed.
Really though? Because
Yes.
apparently there were problems in the restaurant before that one, right?
No,
Oh, well.
Bite of 87.
I thought that's
was
what was implied because
No,
it's the grand reopening or whatever of Freddy Fazbear's
I think
Pizza.
the first one was shut down just for because it was shitty or something.
Oh,
or the
okay.
upgrade
I thought
something.
it was like it was already haunted to begin with, and
Yeah.
just got more haunted. I don't know.
More hauntier.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll wait until the game theory about it comes out.
I know, right?
Yeah, there's still a lot of unanswered questions with the actual series as to why or whatever.
Why? What?
Because did you see the last Markiplier video?
Yeah.
Okay, where he's asking all the questions about what was with the restaurant beforehand and all that. But
yeah, I don't think anything.
it doesn't
happened with
matter.
Restaurant
That's what I'm
beforehand.
saying. It doesn't matter really because it's wrapped all up. The kids are at peace because you gave them virtual cake.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
virgin cake and the virgin
Because
pudding.
you don't know about this yet, but I'm going to tell you now, Amber. What you do is a very cryptic set of things that you have to do, and it leads you to all these different mini games that look really 8-bit and
The
Atari-ish.
Purple Man?
No, but you're being different characters, and you're taking cake to the kids.
Yeah.
And they disappear, and that's how you let them off, and so the place isn't haunted anymore.
Yep.
You
That's
give them
pretty
cake. You give them cake, and they go away.
By the way, I think Five Nights
Cupcake?
3 completely and abstains the phone guy from being the purple guy. In Five Nights 2 is this is probably pretty accurate, but no, it's actually not.
Oh, you don't think?
No, because he talks about them closing up the one room where
Right.
whatever, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, the extra room or whatever.
Yeah, that extra room. So, but then he still has messages in the first game. If the murders took place in the second. And then
Right.
I don't think it's possible.
Yeah. But why is he purple? That's what I want to know.
It was an evil Atari color,
Was it?
I guess. I mean, the Atari only had so many colors to it.
Yeah.
So,
But purple.
yeah.
Poor boy.
Anyway, let's end our show then.
Let's wrap up.
Before we wrap up, I just wanted to say something that I read as I was scrolling through Tumblr.
Potatoes.
I
Thank you
follow
for your
this
time.
one chef from Food Network, and she posted a picture. It said she's at this thing. It's a hunger banquet, and as I scrolled down real quick, I thought where she said it's starting, I thought it said it's starting, and had to scroll back.
At one point in time,
It's starring 8 o'clock, so don't miss it.
at one point, the head of the National Hunger Association, for people for food banks or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
the head of that was named Robin Mafood.
Nah.
That is.
That's funny.
The more you know.
Good night, everybody.
Let's
Good
close
night,
it.
everybody.
Ready, Alvin?
Good night, everybody!